If you're considering an alternative to Mopar or ZF Lifeguard 8, this video is about what actually matters and what doesn't when you're comparing the transmission fluids in the ZF 8-speed. Because matching specs on a data sheet like this does not mean transmission will behave the same. I recently had a conversation with a transmission engineer, and what they explained completely reframed how I look at fluid comparisons, and it's something I've never seen discussed in videos or spec sheets. I've gotten a lot of questions about alternatives, AMSOIL, Castrol, Valvoline, and most comparisons focus on viscosity charts and published specs. Today I want to explain which specs actually matter, which ones don't, and what's the single most important factor, the one that isn't shown on any spec sheet, and why ZF approval is a different category altogether. And don't worry, I've gathered the published specs for ZF and built comprehensive spreadsheet comparing 14 different fluids using data pulled directly from manufacturer documents. We'll go through that together. All right, let's step inside and get into it. If you stick with me through this, you'll walk away with a clear framework, choosing the right fluid for your Jeep's ZF 8-speed without relying on marketing claims or a couple of numbers pulled from a spec sheet. Before we get into brand names, I want to reset how to think about transmission fluid. Most charts compare viscosity at 40 and 100 degrees centigrade. Those numbers matter, but they're supporting sticks, not the deciding factor for how a ZF 8-speed actually shifts. Viscosity tells you how thick a fluid is at a given temperature. Let's take a look. The diagram on the left is a snapshot of an FCA ZF transmission and shows how clutches apply. Here's what viscosity does not tell you. How long they slip during the shift, how the slip decays, or how stable that behavior stays when cold, hot, or under load. That's why two fluids as shown on the slide on the right can look nearly identical on paper and still feel very different in the vehicle. When people compare ZF 8-speed fluids, they usually line up the spec sheet. Here's the spec sheet from ZF. They look at density, viscosity, pour point, flash point, and they ask, which one is the best? The answer? None of these. Because the most important factor isn't on the spec sheet at all. That's friction behavior, specifically the friction modifier chemistry used in the fluid. These modifiers determine how clutches slip during a shift, how quickly that slip decays to a zero, how stable that behavior stays as temperature change, and how it holds up over time. Automatic transmissions are designed to slip. Briefly, that control slip is what makes shifts smooth. But once a clutch should be locked, any continued slip creates heat and wear. Friction behavior controls all of that, and is proprietary. Manufacturers don't publish it. Let's look at what's happening during a shift. The green line represents turbine shaft speed. The red line shows clutch pressure ramping on. This point right here is called the kiss point. That's where the clutch plates first touch and controlled slip begins. That slip is intentional. It's what prevents harsh shifts. The key is what happens after the kiss point. If the clutch slips too long, you generate heat and wear. If it locks too fast, the shift feels harsh. And how that ramp behaves is controlled by friction chemistry, not viscosity. Now let's zoom out and look at the full shift. The blue line is the clutch turning off. The orange line is the clutch turning on. There is an overlap where both clutches are partially engaged. That overlap is by design. If the releasing clutch lets go too fast, you get a flare. If applying clutch comes on too fast, you get a harsh shift. The shape of these curves, how long they overlap, and how cleanly they lock is defined by friction modifiers in the fluid. This is chemistry. This is why two fluids with similar specs and identical viscosity numbers can still behave very differently in the transmission. Matching specs does not make two fluids the same, because friction behavior is not defined by those specs. So what actually matters on a spec sheet when you're comparing alternatives to Mopar or ZF fluid? There are three values that are critical for comparison. I'll go through all of them, but one spec matters far more than most people realize, especially for ZF 8-speed, and is often overlooked. That spec is Brookfield's viscosity at very low temperatures. In simple terms, Brookfield viscosity tells us how thick or thin the transmission fluid is when it's extremely cold. Think of it like pouring honey versus oil straight out of the fridge.
The thicker it is, the harder it is for the transmission pump to move that fluid and quickly fill clutch circuits. That matters because on a cold start, the transmission still has to build pressure fast and apply clutches correctly. If the fluid is too thick, clutch fill can be delayed. Shifts can feel off and the transmission can run hotter until everything warms up. Lower Brookfield numbers means the fluid flows more easily when cold, but lower isn't automatically better. What matters is being within the range ZF designed the transmission around. So when you hear phrases like meets or exceeds specs, exceeding a number the way they're defining it doesn't necessarily mean better behavior in the transmission. A lot of people ask, doesn't the transmission computer just adapt if you use a different fluid? Short answer, yes, but only within limits. Clutch adaptation in the ZF 8-speed only happens once the transmission is warm. Let's take a look at FCA's own clutch adaptation conditions table for the ZF 8-speed. As you can see here, clutch adaptations are only calculated when transmission temperature is between 50 degrees Celsius and 100 degrees Celsius, or 122 degrees Fahrenheit to 212 degrees Fahrenheit. And here's a bonus, because I've seen a lot of debate around what a good Jeep transmission temperature actually is. You'll hear numbers all over the place. Under 200, 220, even 230 degrees or 240 degrees. But this table from FCA or Chrysler clears it up. We can infer that the optimal operating range, the range where the transmission is actively learning and adapting, is 122 to 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, that doesn't mean you should panic if temperatures briefly go up. Short spikes are completely normal when towing, climbing grades, or off-roading in the mountains. What matters is how long it stays there and whether the system can recover. Below about 50 degrees Celsius and over 100 degrees Celsius, adaptation is not active. At that point, the transmission is operating on fixed, pre-calibrated assumptions that ZF and FCA designed specifically around the Mopar fluid or the ZF fluid. So if a fluid behaves differently when cold, the computer is not compensating. And that's a major reason ZF fluid matters, and why I spent time earlier on Brookfield viscosity, and why that's one of the most critical specs to pay attention to. Only ZF knows the exact cold fill behavior the software is calibrated around. The TCM can adapt to small differences once warm, but adaptation helps mask differences. It does not make different chemistry correct. Quick note before we open the spreadsheet comparing alternative to ZF and Mopar fluid. If this kind of deep dive explanation is helpful, consider subscribing and giving the video a thumbs up. This channel is about understanding how these systems actually work, not just reading spec sheets. And this really helps the channel. If you run a different fluid in your ZF 8-speed, drop a comment below with your experience. Real world feedback helps everyone make better decisions. Now let's take a look at the spreadsheet, but before we do, I want to show you exactly where this data comes from. Any comparison is only as good as the sources behind it. So instead of just throwing numbers on the screen, I want to start with the baseline. For this analysis, I'm comparing to ZF Lifeguard 8 and the Shell L12108 fluid as a reference point. Both are approved and validated by ZF. The Mopar fluid is also approved and validated by ZF, so it will be pretty much the same. But since Jeep or Chrysler doesn't give the specs, I did not include it in the spreadsheet. So this is the standard everything else gets compared against. This document here is from Shell. I have taken the specs here and specs from the ZF 8 Lifeguard fluid and added them to the spreadsheet you will see next. And by the way, all of these documents will be available to subscribers of the channel. See the description below. You'll see published specifications like Brookfield viscosity, viscosity at 40 degrees centigrade, viscosity at 100 degrees centigrade, viscosity index, and density, along with the official ZF approvals as you see here on the Shell spec sheet. It states ZF TE-ML11. This is the document from ZF that lists all fluids that have been approved and validated from them. Let's open and take a quick look at this document. Here you can see Chrysler or Mopar fluid next to ZF 8-speed family of transmissions and ZF's own version Lifeguard Fluid 8. This gives us verified manufacturer published data, not assumptions, not forum posts, not marketing claims, but actual reference information. This is what approved looks like. It's not a claim, it's a validation. Now that you've seen the reference data, here's the spreadsheet. It lists specifications from 14 different fluids, pulled directly from the manufacturer technical data sheets. The goal here isn't to pick a winner, it's to evaluate alternatives the right way, using the same framework ZF designed the transmission around. For subscribers to the channel, see the description below for access to the full spreadsheet. As we go through this, I'm not going to read every row. Instead, we'll focus on categories, what matters most, what matters less, and where the real differences actually show up. I'm going to use Castrol as a reference example. One viewer specifically commented and asked for this comparison. And that's actually why I moved this video up and released it this week. So I'll use Castrol to show how to evaluate the spreadsheet, walk through the decision process, and then give you my take on whether I would personally use it. So looking at this spreadsheet, the first two rows are ZF Lifeguard 8 and Shell L12108. These are the only two fluids on this sheet that are actually validated and approved by ZF. The next row is Castrol, and that's our example. So the real question becomes which specs actually matter the most. Realistically, there are 3 or 4 depending on whether you separate friction behavior from the base specs. The most critical is friction behavior, which is proprietary, so that's why it's showing as NP on the spreadsheet. Now, I'm not a chemical engineer, and companies like Castrol, Valvoline, and the others here employ very smart engineers across multiple disciplines. So this doesn't mean they haven't figured out ZF's so-called secret sauce. But there are 2 things that give me pause. First, we can't independently validate that. The friction behavior and the actual validation data simply aren't published. Second, the term multi-vehicle matters. That label implies the fluid is engineered to work across a wide range of different transmissions. ZF Lifeguard 8, by contrast, is engineered specifically and exclusively for the ZF 8-speed. That doesn't mean a fluid like Castrol won't work. Many people seem to run them without issues. But it is worth pointing out these differences so you understand the trade-offs and the potential risks. Next is Brookfield viscosity, which affects the pump's ability to move fluid at cold start and controls clutch fill timing. If the fluid is too thick when cold, you can get delayed engagement. And remember, the computer is not adapting at cold temperatures. ZF tunes its control logic around this value. Looking at the numbers here, ZF Lifeguard 8 is around 8,850 and Castrol is at 10,000. A 13% difference is meaningful for extreme cold start behavior and clutch fill timing. But if you're not operating in severe cold, it may not show up in real-world driving. The next critical spec is viscosity at 100 degrees Celsius, which represents fully warmed operating viscosity. This matters for clutch lubrication, torque capacity, and durability under load. Here Castrol does fine, around 5.9. compared to 5.6 for ZF Lifeguard 8. Next on the list is viscosity at 40 degrees Celsius, which represents warm-up behavior, not extreme cold. This affects how the transmission behaves before it's fully hot. Here we see Castrol at 30.2, compared to 26 for ZF Lifeguard 8. Roughly a 16% difference, which is not ideal. Finally, viscosity index tells us how stable viscosity is across temperature. At 161, Castrol actually looks pretty good here. This is helpful context, but it's less important than Brookfield and the actual operating viscosities. I believe in sharing all the information and letting you make your own decision. Yes, Castrol Transmix multi-vehicle does appear to work for many people based on overall community feedback. It may be perfectly fine in moderate climates and for normal everyday driving. Many people use it without immediate issues, but I wouldn't use it on my Jeep. The reason is simple. You're taking on additional risk for a fluid you may only change a handful of times over the entire life of the vehicle. And if transmission issue were ever to occur while the vehicle is under warranty, using a non-ZF approved fluid could complicate or jeopardize a claim. So for me, the question becomes, why take the risk when ZF approved fluid removes the uncertainty? And if you do any of the following: off-road, tow-heavy trailers, live where temperatures dip well below freezing, or want the closest possible match to factory-validated behavior, then I strongly recommend sticking with Mopar 8 and 9 Speed ATF, or a ZF-approved product like Lifeguard 8. This isn't about brand loyalty, it's about understanding how the ZF 8-speed actually uses transmission fluid. For most owners, the smartest and lowest risk option is simply using Mopar 8 and 9-speed ATF, or a ZF-approved fluid. Yes, it costs more, but this is an engine oil that you're changing every few thousand miles. Transmission service intervals are long, and this is not an area where saving a few dollars makes much sense. Because matching a few numbers on a spec sheet does not guarantee the same behavior, especially under load in cold weather or overtime. Only ZF knows the exact friction chemistry and validation behind their approved fluids. That doesn't mean other brands won't work. Many people run alternatives with no immediate issues, but those fluids are compatibility choices and not validated. The ZF 8-speed is highly sensitive to fluid behavior, especially during cold starts, under load, and over long service intervals. I also have a separate video showing how to properly service the ZF transmission on your Jeep, step by step following the Jeep service manual and the ZF procedures. I've linked that in the description, and regardless of which fluid you choose, the service process itself is critical. If this helped you understand how to choose the right fluid for your ZF 8-speed, a comment and a thumbs up really helps this channel. And if you want access to the documents, spreadsheets, and references behind these videos, check the description below. I'm working on a simple way to share all of those with subscribers. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.